Greetings everybody, John Tyre here. This is my channel WikiGameGuides, and today I wanted to go over some high score gameplay from Robo Recall and go over a bunch of tips and tricks for how to get the high score stars in Robo Recall. So when I first started playing, earning high score stars seemed extremely difficult. Every level has 3 tiers of high score to earn all the stars on the level, which unlock weapon upgrades. And the top tier scores seemed initially so far out of reach that they looked impossible to get. And I imagined that the pistol, your starting weapon, was just so weak when it's unupgraded and inaccurate that it was just impossible to get the high scores with it. But that ended up being far from the truth. On level 1-1 that I'm showing right here in this video, I ended up getting a global leaderboard ranking of 378 and a score of 2.5 million. And I'm using an upgraded shotgun, but there is nothing in this video that you could not do the very first time you play this level, the very first time you play Robo Recall. So when I first started playing, I had hoped that unlocking the new guns, the new power-ups would make it easier to reach those high scores, but after completing the entire campaign and still struggling to get even the second high score star on any level, I knew I was missing something important. And after lots of testing and research, I realized that getting the high score stars has little to do with your ability to aim or using the most upgraded guns, and is much more to do with teleporting around and throwing enemies. I'm curious, actually, let me know in the comments what your favorite gun is in Robo Recall. Mine is the fully upgraded shotgun minus the rocket attachments. The weight of the shotgun in this game is just so satisfying to use. I absolutely love it. And before I forget, please click that like button and share this video with all of your VR amigos. So the technique for getting an extremely high score comes down to teleporting right behind the robots, ripping their heads off to build your score multiplier to, I like, about a 10 times multiplier, and then doing lots of fancy kills and stealing their weapons or throwing them off cliffs. So it can get kind of repetitive at the beginning of a mission compared to a run and gun playstyle, but the strategy is extremely effective. I got 5 stars in multiple levels now, and I'm really enjoying the super fast, precise teleporting system that Robo Recall has. And when you learn how to use the game mechanics, the teleporting mechanics, and not change your actual physical body orientation, teleporting becomes an absolute breeze. And Robo Recall really has, to me, the best movement mechanics of any VR game I have ever played. And I think the designers built the high score system to encourage you to use their incredibly well-designed teleporting system as much as possible, as opposed to sitting in one spot and letting the robots come to you in waves. So, in case you don't have a great grasp on how the teleporting system works in this game, instead of just aiming at a location and pressing jump, kind of like Arizona Sunshine does with their teleporting system, the joystick on either hand lets you choose what direction you face after you teleport. So it's very easy to teleport directly behind a robot and then be facing them as opposed to facing the wrong direction. So here are the basics of how to get a high score star in Robo Recall. So first, you need to maintain a high score multiplier. I use a combination of just jumping around and blocking shots with an offhand shotgun. And every enemy drops chips, I think is what they're called, when they are killed. Getting melee kills earns you significantly more score multiplier chips than kills with guns. So my typical plan when I'm going for a high score is usually to get a 10 times multiplier with nothing but melees as soon as the mission starts, and then start going for the skill kills and gun kills and stuff like that. Also, every time you get shot or meleeed, your multiplier goes down by 1. So this is another reason not to just sit in the same place for very long and instead teleport around very frequently. The multiplier does go down slowly when you are not in combat, but it's very minimal compared to the loss when you get hit. So the range that you pick up chips from killed robots is surprisingly small. But when you do get a melee kill, you automatically pick up all the chips they drop. So when you switch to using your guns, be sure to teabag all the down robots to pick up their chips. Like, teleport to right where their dead body is and you'll pick them up very quickly. Headshots earn lots of points. Using drones, like I'm using right now, to charge up their laser, or like the mini boss laser for the zapped bonuses, those earn tons of points. Throwing enemies off cliffs is an extremely easy way to get a lot of points, and a very easy way to kill enemies quickly. But unfortunately, not every level is actually situated high enough in the city to get throwing kills by merely tossing robots off of a rooftop. I believe it's only the third world where all the levels are high enough that you can just kind of fling them off a cliff and then they'll just die instantly. You can also get long bomb bonuses when you throw the spider robots far enough. If you do this, be sure to chase down the thrown spider to pick up all the chips that they drop as well. And after ripping a robot's head off, you can throw them up in the air and shoot their body for extra juggling points. Now, this isn't really necessary if you're going for the high score stars, but it is something I see pretty consistently from other people who have posted videos that are in the top 10 of the leaderboards, for example. Catching enemy bullets in midair and throwing them back at them also earns you a nice return to sender point bonus, but this is kind of risky and I don't like doing it because, like I mentioned earlier, every bullet that hits you reduces your multiplier by 1, so you better be pretty confident that you're not going to get hit by any of those bullets if you're going to try that return to sender challenge. Also, do not forget to shoot enemies that are running away after any time challenge, like I'm starting right here, the collection challenge or a recall challenge like I did earlier in this mission. If you kill them as they're running away, you get a significant no escape bonus. There's a couple other star challenges that I wanted to go over that have some nuances throughout the game. Let's see. So mission 1-3, finish with 75% or greater accuracy. I would only use shotguns for that entire level and build up a lot of very easy shots before you start the boss fight and just go from there. Let's see. Complete a mission without firing a weapon. Not too bad now that you know how easy it is to just teleport around and throw enemies or rip their heads off. Excuse me. Don't fire weapons from your holster on mission 2-2. Again, not hard once you understand what that actually means. You can fire weapons if you steal them from enemies, and you can rip enemies' heads off. You just can't use your own weapons. Also, mission 2-3, let's see, recall 10 bots with thrown weapons. This does not include the upgrade for the plasma rifle that makes it explode when it's thrown. That does not count as a thrown weapon. You have to use like a pistol or a shotgun or the plasma rifle without that upgrade. Any other thrown weapon. Let's see. Also, cost 10 bots to be recalled by friendly fire on mission 3-3. That one is not too bad. Just teleport behind other enemies and then let them kind of shoot in that direction. You're not going to get a high score on that challenge if you're just going to let the enemy shoot you, but you can't really die in this game per se. When you do die, you basically just respawn and you sacrifice, I think, 10% of your score, so you'll just have to do a run on level 3-3 where you plan on not getting a high score. And finally, also on mission 3-3, recall 10 bots with explosives. Just use your fully upgraded shotgun with the explosive upgrade and you'll get that one very quickly. So anyway, thanks for checking out this video. I hoped it helped you get more out of this incredible VR action shooter. Be sure to check out my other Robo Recall videos. I already have one up on the hidden weapon features, and I'm working on a video of my favorite Robo Recall mods that should be done very soon as well. I'm also working on some super hot VR, Wilson's Heart, and the Unspoken VR videos. A huge thanks to Oculus for the Rift and the Touch, and for the codes for me to check out these games. If you're new to the channel, to WikiGameGuides, be sure to subscribe for more updates from me. Thanks for watching, and game on.